Today's episode is brought to you by the NBA Store. A new year brings the start of a new NBA season. Suit up with the latest gear to show your support for your team. We may be sidelined from going to the arena, but that doesn't mean you can't watch basketball from your couch in style.
We're partnering up with the NBA and Podgo to bring our listeners up to 75% off select items. Yes, you heard me correctly. Go to Podgo, that's podgo.co/NBA for up to 75% off select items from the NBA Store. The NBA, where amazing happens.
Ideals like peace, freedom, and justice, they get packed up, but we can all go home. Well, I'm not going home. I'm gonna get on my boat, and I'm going upriver, and I'm going to kick that son of a bitch Bison's ass so hard that the next Bison wannabe is gonna feel it. Now, who wants to go home, and who wants to go with me?
Welcome to the Rated G for Gamers podcast, episode 255. Before we start the show, we want to thank all of our wonderful fans who have supported us. And if you want to show support for the Rated G network, you can find us on Patreon at patreon.com/Rated G for Gamers. You can also find us on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Rated G for Gamers. And finally, please rate and review us on iTunes and Spotify. We appreciate all the love. I'm your host, Dave Rattino, and this is my co-host, Dan, the podcaster formerly known as Classic Robinson.
What's going on, man? How was your weekend?
Well, we are in the middle of it right now, and I don't know if you know, I don't know if you been keeping up with the latest Xbox news, but I think it's the first Xbox console exclusive game has been dropped for the Xbox Series X, and you can get it on Games Pass for free right now. The Medium. I have the game downloaded. It just finished downloading before we got on the mic, so I have yet to play it. But I'm excited to see what all the fuss is about. So.
Yeah, no, I'm good. It's a spooky game. I don't want to do. I don't want to get into that.
You're not even curious. You bought Resident Evil 7, Dad, and you played and tried Resident Evil 7. You bought Resident Evil 2, and I think 3, and you tried them too. Why would you not try it just to see how the game is?
No, I'm okay. First of all, it's console exclusive because it's also out on the PC.
That's what I said. Console exclusive.
Yeah. So, no, I'm okay. I am in no way, shape, or form looking to play this game. And it's digital, right? I don't even think I have a physical copy. I didn't see physical copy on Amazon.
Well, they have it on Games Pass, so I know you can play it right now. I don't see why they wouldn't do a physical release. Like it's certainly AAA caliber, or at least AA if that's even a thing nowadays. So I wouldn't call this an indie game necessarily.
Well, I'll tell you why, because Cyber Shadow is also out.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah.
And everyone seems to love it. It's definitely the difficulty level is right up there with Ninja Gaiden. Right?
Oh yeah.
And people said this is. I mean, The Messenger came out 2 years ago, and we thought that was like inspired by Ninja Gaiden. But Cyber Shadow is like it's somewhat different than a
little bit
The Messenger.
Yeah. A little bit.
But they talk to have no plans on putting out a physical edition.
And
that's Yacht Club Games right there that published it. So
you know that. Yeah, right. It is a Yacht Club game thing. We do know that Shovel Knight got published on everything. I mean, that's like the Skyrim of like indie games, right? You can play it on your damn microwave. So I I have no doubt that limited run or special reserve games or some other like I am 8-bit will pick this up and put out that game. Because I think it needs to have a physical.
I rather play Cyber Shadow. I'm no way, shape, or form looking to play the medium. So I'm good.
Well,
that's all you.
Well, here you go. Are you gonna wait for a physical copy, or are you gonna break down and buy the digital and play it? Because it's amazing. I mean, we got to play it at PAX 2 years ago, right? When they had it there, and we met the sole developer who did. I think he did all the work on the game. It was just one dude, and Yacht Club was like, "Come on, we'll go ahead and publish your game. This looks amazing," and it played amazing back then.
It's all one guy, just like Axiom Verge is one guy, right? Like solely one guy. But no, I mean, I'm not buying it now. I'll wait until they actually do put. I don't believe them that they don't have any plans. I definitely
no. I'm 100% with you.
100% know that limited run's going to put. This is going to be the drop the mic moment at PAX E3 2021.
Yeah.
Right?
Like it's way too polished. It looks way too good, and everyone loves the game. It's got it's got all the elements for put out a damn physical. All right, so yeah.
Maybe they put a Vita version out. That'd be even awesome. No,
you could, right? I mean, it has NES visuals, right? It's not a very taxing game in terms of horsepower. Yeah. Hell, you could put it on the 3DS.
I was just about to say, why don't they put it on the 3DS? They had this whole big thing that they make in 3DS limited run. And they're making 3DS games, Wii U games, and they only put out one Wii U game, Axiom Verge.
Right.
And to my best of my knowledge, they only put out one 3DS game, which I got. So where are all these 3DS games? I want to. You know what? I want Cyber Shadow on the 3DS. 3DS can play that game.
Why not? Why? And then you also can turn on the 3D slider, and then you get all the different backgrounds that are parsed out. Oh, that'd be awesome. That would be awesome. All right. Special edition comes with a scarf. I mean, come on. Limited run.
Only you would want that, and you would buy it too, because you would want a scarf.
Tons of people would want it. Come on now. Look at all the scarves we got from the last PAX. All right, it's great. It's good stuff. Anyway,
no, I don't want a scarf. Give me a samurai sword. That'd be awesome.
I mean, okay.
Special edition comes with a sword.
It's going to be a little hard to ship that, but sure.
No, they can find a way. They can find a way to ship it. They can find a way. It's just like shipping it. It's just like shipping a vacuum cleaner. It's just like shipping a vacuum cleaner.
Is it? Yeah. Except this is a sharp bladed weapon, and the vacuum cleaner is a vacuum cleaner.
They can make it.
You can't really kill somebody with a vacuum cleaner.
Yes, you can. Yes, you can.
If you try hard enough, sure, but it's not difficult to kill somebody with a ninja blade. All right.
Well, put the ninja blade inside the vacuum cleaner and then ship it with the game.
All right, we have gotten off the rails.
All right. Let's get the show back on the tracks. We have a great show this week. We're going to talk about the New York Video Game Awards, which I forgot that was a thing. Mm-hmm. We're going to talk about the new 007 game in the works, right, with IO Interactive. But first, let's get into a game that we also saw at PAX, and we've been questioning if this game is actually going to come out or not, and that's Biomutant. It exists. It still exists. It's coming. Mm-hmm. And it's coming this year, May 27th.
Very excited. It looked beautiful at the time. I think we played it on the PC with controllers, right?
With Xbox. We played it on PC with Xbox controllers.
Right. And it was like the last game that we saw was like, all right, do we want to play Bloodstained or do we want to play Biomutant? And we're like, let's go ahead and play Biomutant. And it looked...
Well, Bloodstained was coming out, right?
It was coming out
soon. So it didn't make any sense to play that when we knew we were just going to buy it in like another month.
Yeah. It was cool. You get to make your own little furry animal and customize them with the colors and different armor and whatnot. And it's a third-person action adventure, I guess, right? It's a third-person platformer shooter type game.
Yeah. I mean, it hack and slash. I mean, they put a ton of enemies in your area, and you got to clear it before you can move on to the next.
Mm-hmm. And it was
a modern Ratchet and Clank, right?
Oh, 100%. Yeah. Like, right down to like cool little inventions. I remember the bubble thing that you jumped into, right? You were in this giant sealed bubble, like jumping around trying to like solve a puzzle.
That was annoying. I hated that section.
Dan's like,
I hated that section.
I thought it was awesome though. Like, you don't really get to see that.
No, I hated
see
it.
that in video games. I mean, it was at least unique, right?
Well, it's funny because IGN did an article and it was like, why, or was it Polygon? It was either IGN or Polygon on why they haven't said anything, why we haven't heard anything. They just wanted to finish the game.
Wow.
That's it.
There you go.
They just wanted to finish the game.
There you go. That you must be okay. You must be so happy about that because you're always like, nah, I don't want any teasers. I don't want any whatever. Just make the game and put it out, right? This is it.
Yes.
We got a demo, right? We got to play it. We got real hype about it, and then they're like, all right, we need some time to finish it, and they put their heads down. And they made it happen. So
that's all I care about. Just make the game.
Mm-hmm.
So and in that vein, Cyberpunk, they should have just shut up, just fix the game. Just fix the game. Don't say anything. No more apology videos. Just put out the game.
Well, I think they're done at this point, right? I think they've already groveled enough. Yeah.
But it looks like everyone, I guess they're a meme, right? Because you don't want to be cyberpunked, right? Like that's the new thing. You don't want to be cyberpunked, and people are delaying their games, and we have another game delay. The Lord of the Rings, the Gollum, right? That's been delayed.
Wow, I totally forgot about this one.
This was supposed to come out in 2021, but now they delayed it until at sometime mid 2022. You know why? Because they don't want to be cyberpunked.
100%. Also, I think this game. I mean, I totally forgot about this game. So like, if they said at like E3 and it's coming out next month, I would be like, wait, what? I don't remember this game. Like, the hype train has gone off the rails for this game. I guess we saw it last year at E3. I forget, and it looked pretty. It looked pretty.
It was either last year or the year before. It was an E3 like announced game, and it was like, oh, okay, Lord of the Rings game. I wasn't too excited for it, right? I mean, I'll check it out, but
yeah, I'm in the same boat. Like I do like Lord of the Rings a lot, but Gollum isn't necessarily the best protagonist.
Yeah,
he's an ugly looking fella. He crawls around on all fours.
But here's the thing. I don't think we didn't see any gameplay. We just sort of like a cinematic trailer for it.
Yeah,
right? And then they went quiet, and that's why we totally forgot about it.
Yeah,
just go quiet when you're ready. Put it out. We're gonna see an awesome gameplay trailer at some point at the end of this year, right? For next year, and we're gonna be hyped for the game. Right, it's gonna be a Christmas 2022 game. Watch, guaranteed.
Yeah.
So, but a game that is awesome that we should see a sequel for is Astro Chain. Right, I love that game. I nominated it for Game of the Year.
Yeah,
you still get to play it on the Switch.
You're right. I still have yet to play it. I'll get to it when it gets down to like $20-$30. I'll snatch it up.
But it was I don't think it's ever going to go down that low. You know why? Because now it's officially a Nintendo game.
Oh my God! Yep. So wait a minute. It was made by Platinum, so they sold the rights to Nintendo?
Well, it was made by Platinum, and I think they sort of like shared the IP, right? Like sort of, like listen, Nintendo and Platinum have a weird relationship. Right, like Platinum was making. They had that canceled game for Xbox. Bayonetta 1 came out on the Xbox 360, and all of a sudden they sort of, and then all of a sudden they started putting out their games on Nintendo Switches. I think they shared ownership of the IP, but now Nintendo owns it flat out.
Huh.
So
wow,
you're not going to see Astro Chain on an Xbox or a PlayStation, but you may see it in Smash. You never know. That could be a character that they put in Smash.
That would be kind of cool with the weird like electric whip thing that they have, right? That'd be kind of awesome. You could bind up the characters. I could get behind that. I'm super hyped to see. And we're getting into Astro Chain 2 now. So. Yeah. Yeah. All right. I'm gonna have to play the first one. I'm gonna have to get around to it because
Yes.
if they put 2 out and I still haven't played 1 yet, it's a bit of a bad look.
So, Dave, as we always try to start the show, but epically fail, what have you been playing?
Well, I did it, Dan. I beat XCOM 2 finally. I saved the world from the Avatar project. Saved the world from the half alien, half insurrection. I guess I wasn't paying attention a lot to the story, like a little bit, but apparently there was a rival faction on Earth who was working with the aliens. I did not realize that. So you get to the end and you find this like cult leader type guy that like gets like taken down. You end up like taking him down. You don't actually like kill him, but like you take down the whole resistance. Well, not resistance ring, but the whole like insurrection ring, right? And you take down their whole thing, and then you infiltrate, and you basically take back the world. But yeah, no, it was super cool. The ending was satisfying, right? They put you in this, you're going into their like HQ, right? It's basically like you're storming the White House, right? That's like their home base. And you go in there with your crew, and you, as the commander, right? This was like the coolest thing. So you don't play your character on the battlefield, right? You're basically controlling your units, right? And you put your team together and you send them out. At the end of the game, you put yourself inside the body of one of these avatar guys, and you get to play as you with the avatar body with all these cool psychic powers. So it was a super power trip to be like, I am the ultimate god. And like, there's 2 objectives: take down the enemy, and you cannot die, right? Because it's you, like you're like the commander. So that was kind of cool.
I hope the power didn't go to your head.
No, I mean, I beat the game.
You were drunk. You were sick with power.
Yeah,
tell.
it's good. It's good. I mean, now I want an XCOM 3, right? I was surprised they put out a 2. But people definitely like it. I mean, you can get this game on the Switch. It was that popular. They said, we're going to port this game to the Switch. So.
I have XCOM 1 or XCOM 2 for the PS3.
Okay.
It's one. I know I have an XCOM game for the PS3.
Probably the first one. I think XCOM 2 was well into the 8th generation. So I don't think they would have backported it to a previous console. But
I have XCOM Enemy Unknown.
Enemy Unknown is the first one.
The first one. Okay.
Yeah. And then there was the DLC Enemy Within, which is funny because that was like a faction group on Earth was like splitting off, so you had to like infiltrate and like crush the uprising.
Gotcha.
The one thing I'll say about XCOM 2, and they're never going to fix it because it came out in like 2016, I think. The performance is terrible on PC. It's not optimized for modern computers, right? I don't even think it takes advantage of the multiple cores on like the CPU. I have a very competent system that can like crush Doom Eternal, and when I put this game on, sometimes you'll get like sub 30 frames a second. It's terrible, and there's like a lot of bugs. Sometimes the game will like lock up every now and again. It's still great, but like Firaxis could have put a little more polish on it. Put out a final patch. I wish they did.
All right,
but
all right. In your face, PC gamers. Okay, the console version is superior.
Well, I mean, maybe they fixed it for that. I don't know. I'm not too sure. But yeah. So the other game I've been playing is the Capcom Beat 'em Up bundle. Because who doesn't love a good beat 'em up?
I totally forgot about that on the Switch, right?
All right.
You played it on the Switch?
And that game, I don't think will ever have a physical release, sadly, because it's Capcom, and Capcom can produce their own stuff. They don't need to partner up with anybody.
Listen, I am 8-bit. I am 8-bit. Put that 25th anniversary cart for Super Street Fighter 2. Right?
Oh yeah,
and Mega Man. They had that anniversary for Mega Man.
One of those would put your Super Nintendo on fire. So I don't know if they're the right company to be putting out cartridges.
Well, I'm just saying they've
You're right.
They've partnered with Capcom before, so.
Yeah, I wish they had a physical. But that's like there's 6 different fighting games in there. Final Fight, Knights of the Round, Armored Warriors. Like there's some I don't even remember seeing in the arcades. But yeah, super cool. So how about you? What have you been playing?
I just discovered. Oh my god! I'm about to say it. A hidden gem. Oh my god! I didn't even know this game existed. Sonic Advance on the Game Boy Advance.
Oh, sure. Yeah. 2D,
All right,
2D Sonic game on the go, yeah.
You know, Sonic 2 is like the second best game ever made behind Super Mario World. I'm sorry. That's just truth. It's truth.
Those are words. Those are words. I don't know if I can get behind those words, but okay.
Truth. All right. I love Sonic 2 better than Sonic 3. I don't care what anybody says. And Sonic Mania, it was okay. I didn't think it was the greatest thing on earth. I thought it was okay. Those later stages, I think, are unfair and barely like. I didn't like some of the later stages.
They can be a little brutal. Yeah, I'll agree with you there.
Yeah. So I like Sonic 2, but Sonic. Everyone talks about Sonic. You know, Sonic 2, Sonic 3, and Sonic CD. Sonic Advance is awesome, and they made 3 of them.
Yeah.
They made 3 Advance games.
Yeah.
And the traditional Sonic games would definitely with a little bit of twist. Sonic looks a little bit different on the Game Boy Advance.
Right. I had to modify it a little bit. Yeah.
Listen, I love the levels, and I've been playing on the OG actual Game Boy Advance. I should be playing on the Game Boy Player or the GameCube, so I can play it on the TV.
Yeah, or the SP, something with a backlight. Unless you have a modded, I don't know if you have a modded GB.
No, I don't have any modded consoles.
Okay, yeah. I've been thinking about getting into that on a side note, trying to mod those screens. Either have someone do it or just do it myself.
I know, but these are like we have all these other ports of other games. Why don't we have a collection of the Sonic Advance games? These are great levels.
Yeah,
that they need to bring back.
Yeah, you know, because you told me that, and I'm like, nah, we have all these Sonic collections and these Genesis collections. Like, it has to be on like one of these compendiums, and apparently not. So yeah, man, 100%. Put it out on I don't know, put it out on the Switch, right? Put it out on the latest and greatest handheld console.
No, yeah. Listen, I want a Sonic Advance collection on the Switch, like physical. This would be awesome. I think they need to do that. All right, you're welcome, Sega. You're welcome. So, all right, why don't we take a break? When we come back, we're getting to the top gaming news of last week.
This is Justin from the Lit Gaming Arena podcast, and you're listening to Rated G for Gamers.
And we're back. And before we start with the top gaming news of last week, I have breaking, exciting, the most exciting, amazing, words can't describe it news.
I see a little box in your background, Dan. What is that? What is that?
As we were recording this show, I got a knock on the door.
Yeah.
Because my PlayStation 5 has now arrived. I am now a proud owner of a PS5. I am now a part of the current generation conversation.
Oh my God!
As of you, because you have an Xbox Series X, I now have a PlayStation 5. GameStop came through. Look at that! I was with all this GameStop stock shorts and all this, I said, don't go under until you ship my PS5. You gotta ship my PS5.
You should thank all the kids on Wall Street Bets for propping up GameStop.
And GameStop, I can't wait to finish this recording so I can just jump in and start playing and taking pictures. I have an extra DualSense controller. I have 2 games, Dark Souls, Demon Souls, and Spider-Man Remastered, Spider-Man Miles Morales, and Spider-Man Remastered. Awesome. I have a warranty that I didn't want, and I got to go online to download my digital GameStop gift card for $20.
All right. Did you happen to open it and make sure that it's not 3 bricks in a box?
I did. This thing is massive.
Yeah,
this thing is massive.
I know. It's a chunky boy. You're gonna have to find some room for that. I don't know. You may have to add on to another wing of your house just to support the PS5.
Just like the last gamer. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
I may just have to extend my backyard, my back porch, and make it an extension of the game room.
That'd be awesome, man.
Okay. All right, I'm super excited.
Mhm.
So,
Oh, congrats.
thank you. All right, cigars for everybody. Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm a proud owner.
I had a baby 10-pound boy, and I'm naming it PS5.
There we go. All right, let's get this. Let's go back. Let's get the show back on the road.
Mm-hmm.
Our top gaming news of last week.
Mm-hmm.
Let's start with something that this should be award season, right? It's like the end of January.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
And
that's when
it
they all
should
start
be
kicking up.
Yeah, this is when the Game Awards should start.
I agree,
Like,
Dan. I agree.
But we got our first.
And you
Well,
can
then
do
you can-
January to you can do January to December and have a full year.
Yeah. And then games like Smash Brothers can be nominated for Game of the Year in the rightful year that it was put out.
Yep.
Right? Jedi Fallen Order will get its just due and not face other juggernaut games that came out earlier in the following year. Right. So I totally forgot that we have a New York Game Awards. Right?
You and me both, Dan.
I think we talked about it last year, and we said we would love to go, this year, but they didn't have an actual. They had a Game Awards like sort of virtual awards, which makes sense. And they said their viewership is like quadrupled, which also makes sense because everyone's home and they need something to watch. And the thing that I think is pretty cool, well, I know you think it's a little corny. I think it's pretty cool. They theme all their awards around New York landmarks and stuff like that. So I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah. It's a little bit too kitschy. Look,
the Big Apple Award for Game of the Year. I mean, come on, that sounds awesome.
The A-Train Award for Best Mobile Game, right? Because you're playing it on the go. Come on. The Coney Island Dreamland Award for Best AR VR Game. Come on now, who is going to be able to say all that on stage?
How about this? This
I already forgot. I already forgot the award I'm presenting by the time I finish with the title.
The Central Park Children's Zoo Award. Come on.
I mean, look, I get it, but it's just way too kitschy. Why not just have the best kids game? Just keep it down the middle.
Because then it wouldn't be the New York Video Game Awards.
No, I get it.
Okay. So our ex-Nintendo president from North America, Reggie Fils-Aimé, co-hosted. So he's a busy man. He's on the board of directors of GameStop, right? He's teaching and he co-hosted the Game Awards. So look. The Big Apple, I don't want to go through every awards, I just want to pick some of them. The Big Apple Game of the Year, right? The Last of Us Part 2, Animal Crossing, Final Fantasy VII Remake, Doom, Yakuza Like a Dragon was nominated. Wow,
That's very interesting.
Well, it couldn't have been nominated for the Game Awards because it came out in late or mid-November with the
It came after the cutoff, right. But I mean, it's still weird. Yeah.
Yeah, but the winner, which is it's just taking awards everywhere. Hades won the Game of the Year.
Sure. Hades is the new Celeste, man. Everybody loves it. Everybody loves it.
But because it's winning all these Game of the Year awards, we're 1,000% getting a physical edition this year, guaranteed.
Oh, Hades? Yeah. Which is why I'm trying to hold out. I'm trying to stay strong because it's like $30 on Switch. It's $30 everywhere, I think. Maybe you get a 10% discount somewhere. It means you save like $3. It's still a lot because then when they put out the physical, it's going to be $30, and you have to buy it all over again. So it turns into a $60 game. So, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, look, I told you, Panzer Paladin. It was like 10% off on the Switch, and I was going to get it. I loved it at PAX. I was going to get it, and then like 2 weeks later, it was a physical edition on limited run. I was like, oh my god. Thank God I didn't buy the digital. Thank God I didn't buy the digital version.
Right. If you just wait long enough, you'll get it.
So, the Central Park Children's Zoo Award for Best Kids Game.
I'm already out, Dad. That took too long. I fell asleep. You just read the title.
So look, Astro's Playroom, right? That was the pack-in game for the PlayStation 5. Sackboy: The Big Adventure didn't get nominated last year because it came out sort of at the end of November. Drake Hollow, don't know what game that is actually. Good Job, don't know what game that is.
Never heard of that either. Yeah.
Moving Out, we saw at PAX. I kind of like that game. It's sort of like Overcooked, but with moving furniture. Dreams, and Animal Crossing. But Animal Crossing took the title, which obviously Animal Crossing is going to be the best like kids game. Get nominated.
It's my honorary game of 2020. All right, it deserves all the praise and love. It's good stuff.
It is. And come on, Dave. How do you not like this title? Off-Broadway Award for Best Indie Game. Come on, how can you hate on that?
I'm done, Dad. I'm done with this award show. All right. I like their nominees. It's perfectly fine. I'm sure they have a good board on there, but come on, you have to go and fix your titles.
well, Hades won Best Indie Game as well. And I want to go through one more. Come on, Dave. I'm going to go through one more. Who does it? The Statue of Liberty Award for Best World.
Yeah, no, I get it.
Come on.
Yeah,
come on.
Yeah, and you know which game won for that? Goes to Tsushima. So I know that they have good people on the board who are making these votes. So I respect. I respect the choices.
I find it Cyberpunk 2077 was nominated, but they made sure to specifically say only the PC version, right? So they didn't just say across the board. They made sure to say the PC version. So.
Yeah, but I mean even that is rife with some issues. So I'm actually curious. I'm glad we're talking about this now because there's this game for mobile called Necro Barista, which I'm assuming that you're an undead coffee maker in a coffee shop. And I'm very curious to try this game out now. Also, they put up a Sudoku game for best mobile game. There is thousands of Sudoku games on any given platform, so I wonder what the hook of good Sudoku is. I need to try both those games out.
And I mean, listen, I feel like this award show, like if you look at all the awards and all the winners, they've spread the love out. Right, it wasn't like one game like Hades, sort of like swept
Sweeps
through.
The show,
yeah, like certain games sweep shows like the Game Awards and stuff, and I like the love to be shown to other games, like Freedom Tower Award for Best Remake, like it went to Final Fantasy VII, hands down.
Wow, I don't know how I feel about that. You realize the implications there. The Freedom Tower is the remake of the World Trade Center that got on 9/11. That's grim. I don't know if I can get behind that. No? Am I alone here?
And maybe I think you're by yourself, man. I think it's like apropos. I think it fits.
Apropos.
It makes
sense.
Best
remake? It's
remake.
Like no. Those towers weren't good enough to withstand a plane crash. Like I don't know about that one. All right, maybe
I think you're looking at it as like the glass half empty, while I'm looking at it as the glass half full. I think it kind of makes sense.
I get it, but it's still grim. It's still kind of grim.
I mean, again, I'm looking at it from a positive standpoint, where you're taking the negative route. I'm looking at it like, okay.
Well, but, I mean, how do you just dismiss? Well, there was two towers there before, and now we have one monolith tower. It's like, yeah, I don't know. I don't know about that one. I don't know. All right. Maybe I'm kind of blowing it out of the water, but oof.
I'll be honest. I didn't even when I read it, I didn't even make the connection to that. But now that
best remake, yeah, they built a new tower. Ugh.
I think it's catchy. I think it makes sense, right? Maybe.
I'm not saying it doesn't make sense.
Do you think it's too soon? It's something that we should wait another 30 years for before we start
I think you just don't. I think you just don't make the joke like that, right? Like maybe do a building that was like knocked down and rebuilt up, like Madison Square Garden, that doesn't have any like drama or trauma or like horrible incidents surrounding it. They just moved it, right?
I don't think
that would be the same effect, right? Madison Square Garden Best Remake Award.
I don't think anybody would ever even remembers the Madison Square Garden being remade. Like,
see, you're making my point, which means you think about 9/11 and you go, oh, there's a new tower in the place.
But I think about it in a more positive. I think about it in a more positive light. I mean, look. You know,
Yeah, we haven't had any plane crashes for the last 11 years or 10 years, sure, but you know, I don't know.
I don't know. I think you're taking the negative side of. I think you're looking at it from the wrong angle, personally.
It is what it is, you know. I don't know. Anyway.
I just think it makes sense.
Okay.
I don't think it's.
I agree. I get their point, but anyway.
Well, like I said earlier, that their viewership sort of quadrupled since the last year's show, and it makes sense because we're all forced to be inside. We need to consume entertainment, and they had a live stream with Reggie Fils-Aimé and Jeff Keighley was actually on here as well. This doubled in viewership, and game streaming viewership alone has doubled since the pandemic started, right? So that's an awesome thing. Now the question I pose to you is, do you think those numbers will sustain as we start to go back to normal, right? Vaccinations start going out and we start, turning a corner on the pandemic. I personally don't think the numbers will stay as high, like super high, but I don't think they're going to drop off significantly.
Well, I think you're right. I mean, they are definitely going to dip. They are going to change slightly with the fact of, hey, you don't have to worry about going outside once everybody gets vaccinated, right? When this whole zombie apocalypse thing is more or less behind us, and you can just get a vaccine when you're born, it becomes less of a concern, and you won't see people with masks all the time. Maybe you'll see some people with masks. So the impetus and the urge to go outside on a nice hot sunny day is always going to be there, right? But I don't think it's going to be a huge impact. I don't think it's going to be like night and day. Now there's like a 20% shift of people who are watching streaming stuff, right? I think it's the same thing with movie theaters. I think it's the same thing with businesses, right? You're going to see a lot of companies moving towards fully remote environments, right? That's a thing, right? Same thing with movie theaters. People were putting out movies on streaming services, right? You can get the new Mulan movie for $30 if you have Disney Plus, and they made a lot of money off it, right? So people were willing to spend that money to get first run movies, right? HBO Max has all of their, I think, Warner Brothers movies or whatever, and everything that they're producing is just going to be out on their platform day and date with the theater, right? So it's you can just watch it now. So I think you're right. I think there's going to be a little bit of shift in the numbers, but I think it's a lot of people are like, hey, the streaming thing is kind of interesting. I found some people that I like, and I'm gonna go ahead and watch these guys on the regular. Sure, I think there's a lot of people that kind of jumped into it because of the pandemic. They needed something to watch. Like me and included. I found some interesting streamers online, so.
I think, the whole quarantine and people streaming, we've made a lot of new stars, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like in the gaming world, streaming world, a lot of people have become more popular and become sort of overnight internet celebrities, or at least in our little bubble that we call gaming. Right?
Yeah. So, it's kind of interesting you talk about that too, because I guess there was a story that came out, I guess, last week, maybe, that is kind of related to this, and people watching online and whatnot, and we've definitely talked about Ninja before, right? Ninja's the number one streamer, right? Ninja plays Fortnite and I think one other game now. There was a small while where he was playing Gears of War for Mixer and then went back to Twitch again, but he got in some hot water, right? Some more internet controversy, and we've kind of talked about him before making kind of divisive statements about, not wanting to stream with women, and then, kind of clarifying that point again. And he's kind of definitely said some stuff that kind of riled some people up. And one of the latest things he said, I think he was kind of asked about him as a streamer and about, people in his chat, and, about if he has any responsibility to, be some sort of moderator or some sort of voice for these people, because there was some stuff that was going down in his chats that I think are still going down in his chats that's kind of not great behavior, and he kind of more or less said it's not my job to be a parent, right? Parents need to be parents in this case, right? And I think that's 100% universally true, right? I 100% agree with that. If you have a kid, you now have a responsibility to take care of that kid. But I also think that Ninja can be a voice for good, right?
Okay.
I think Ninja can be a voice for good because he's got everybody in the palm of his hand, right? Millions of people watch his streams all the time, right? He can use that platform for good, right? As opposed to just being, well, it's not my job. I'm going to go ahead and play this game. And
okay.
That's my jam.
In a perfect world,
Mm-hmm.
listen, I agree with you. In a perfect world, everybody should use their platform, their voice to better the world, right? That's just not reality.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it doesn't matter if you're a movie star, sports athlete, musician or streamer.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I don't think they should be role models for kids per se, right? That is the parent's job.
Right.
But I do agree he should do more to be the voice of good and do more to sort of, especially in his little circle, big circle, he should moderate the chat or have somebody. I mean, listen, he's so big he can pay people to sort of moderate the chat, right? Like the kind of funny guys, right? They put out positive energy. They only want positive sort of responses in their chat, but they have like social media managers and stuff that go and monitor the chat and police that stuff. And I'm kind of surprised that he doesn't have that, or if he does, that they're not doing a very good job.
Right.
But I will say one thing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what type of people he has around him giving him advice.
Right.
But I don't think he means anything malicious or mean by his comments sometimes. I just think he says things that maybe he shouldn't say it that way. I mean, he says, okay, you know what? I'm dancing around it. He says stupid things sometimes.
He says stupid things all the time.
He should just kind of shut up, because I think he doesn't mean I don't think he means what he means isn't coming out exactly the right way. He's not I don't think he's and a lot of the things he said, not everything.
You're giving him the benefit of the doubt here. I would take the opposite stance, is that he's saying the quiet part loud.
No, I mean, look, we both agree. Parents need to be involved in their kids' lives and be
100%. I don't think anyone would disagree with that fact.
Yeah. That's what he's saying in one part of his statement, right? I just think the other part.
Then the second part is like I don't have any responsibility for anything. Let me do me, right? And it's like, well, I mean, it's
the Charles Barkley effect, right? Charles Barkley famously said, "They pay me to play basketball, not be a role model for your kid. That's your job as a parent."
Well,
right?
yeah, I mean, he doesn't want to be Mr. Rogers, right? And he tried that at one point. He tried to go family friendly, and he was family friendly for a bunch of years, and people hated him for it, right? So he tried, I guess, in a way. He tried to be like positive and like kind of kid friendly and all that, but yeah.
Well, the one thing that, again, this is the pandemic has done is everyone's streaming now, right? Everyone's trying to, make it a podcast or something. Yeah. It's so many of us out there trying to make it.
That's right.
When everything goes back to normal, obviously the amount of people making content is going to drop, I think. But I just want to know if the viewership will still be there in high numbers. Not as high as they are now, because I think this is don't get used to these high numbers. But will they still be high? I think so.
Yeah, I agree.
But all right, let's shift our focus to actual video games. And let's talk about James Bond. I don't know if I've talked about this on the show. I don't even know if you know this. But I am a huge James Bond fan.
Oh, of course.
I love James Bond so much. I brought every James Bond game ever made.
Oh my god. Wait. I do know this, and I also know that Pierce Brosnan is your favorite
Nope, Daniel Craig is now.
Oh, Daniel Craig. Okay. I think when we originally talked about it, I know Brosnan was high on your list, right?
Yes,
Okay.
he was.
Okay.
He was. But
Yeah,
but
I
now
like Pierce
but now
Brosnan.
he's
That's
number
good.
now he's number 2.
Right.
Okay?
Yeah. Craig is my favorite.
Daniel
now, too.
Craig, Craig, not just because he has the same name as me. Daniel Craig is badass. I mean, look, Daniel Craig came in 2006 with Casino Royale,
which was one of the best Bond movies. Yeah.
It was sort of the James Bond turns into Jason Bourne, right? Type of thing, because it was less about gadgets and more about using his wit and fist fighting. It was more about fighting.
That whole opening scene with like the snake charmer and the cell phone, and then they do the big parkour battle. Oh my god, that's crazy.
So, I love James Bond. I don't know if I love James Bond games. I'll put it out there though. I'll just put it out there. I don't know if I love James
they're
Bond
a little
games.
bit hit or miss, yeah.
But IO Interactive, the makers of Hitman, the Hitman trilogy, they've brokered a deal and they're going to make James Bond games. Right? They got the exclusive rights to make James Bond games. They said they're looking to start a new trilogy. They're getting ambitious here, right? Make the first one and see how it goes.
Right.
And it would be, and it's going to be a standalone, just single player type of game.
So it's not going to be based on the movies or anything, is what you're saying?
Not going to be based on the movies, and honestly, Daniel Craig's last movie is coming out later this year. So about time this game actually gets made, which will probably be another 4 years from now, we may have already seen or announced the next James Bond. So it's not going to be connected to any movies. It's going to be a separate thing, single player experience, just like Spider-Man wasn't connected to the Spider-Man movies, right?
Yeah.
That's exactly what this is going to be.
That's how you do it. That's how you do it. You take an established property, make your own game, so you're not tied to any timelines or anything, and you make a much better game for it.
My only trepidation is I'm not much into stealth games, right? And I do like the premise of Hitman. James Bond is a little bit more actiony, right? Depending on which James Bond you want to go for. If you want to go for like the older James Bond type of theme, then you're definitely thinking it from a stealth Hitman standpoint.
Right.
But I think James Bond should be in the middle, where he has certain missions where he has to infiltrate, but then once the job is done, it's now shoot 'em up, bang bang, got to get out of there, right? With big explosives, big explosives and stuff like that. So. Yeah, it's interesting to see that, again, they're talking about a trilogy. Let's just make the first game and see how it goes.
Right. Well, GoldenEye, I think, is like a good mix of that, right? It's got some stealth elements, some kind of run and gun elements.
Yeah. No, that's true.
I'm excited.
Now, if you're excited about that potential trilogy, will you be excited for this potential trilogy? It looks like new Tomb Raider would be unified reboot trilogy of the original games.
Will unify reboot trilogy with the so the last 3 games were kind of a reboot, and now they're bringing it back into the storyline of the first set of games, the first 5 or however many they're going back to. Wow, all right, that's kind of cool. That's definitely kind of cool. Like, I kind of wrote off the Tomb Raider franchise after the first couple ones because I get their place in history, but I could not get behind the controls. It was like way too stiff, even though it was like kind of genre breaking at the time, right? They're like, we're going to do this open world Indiana Jones thing with this female lead, and you kind of run around these big caves and do all this cool stuff. And I get it, but like, I couldn't play those games. So I'm like, nah. But
I remember as a kid, like my uncle loved, rest in peace, my uncle loved Tomb Raider. Like he was like, this is like the future. Like, this is awesome. Right?
Yeah.
Like, only if he could have been around to see Uncharted, his mind would have been blown. But yeah, like I have fond memories of those old Tomb Raider games of watching, because he wouldn't let me play. He wouldn't let me play.
Right.
He wouldn't let me play.
Nah.
He's like, no. He's like, no. I'm trying to get past this. This is a hard section. Just help me out. Read the strategy guide. It was Twitch before Twitch existed, right?
Right.
So watching somebody else play.
Yeah.
I'm excited. I'm excited for it because I want those old games with a fresh coat of paint, new look, and better mechanics, right?
Yeah.
Think about Resident Evil 2 remake, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's what I want for the Tomb Raider games.
Well, they're not rebooting the original. They're not redoing the original ones, right? They're just making new games that put the storyline together.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, that's what I got. That's the take I got on it. But they should actually remaster all of those
The
games,
original
with
ones,
controls, and put that out. I mean, we keep
sure.
asking for the Metroid Prime trilogy, right? Before you put out
right.
Metroid Prime 4, maybe do that too. That's what I would love.
The original trilogy for whatever anniversary it is, I don't know, 20, 25 years, right? Came out, what, 97? 2022, I think, would be the 25th anniversary. Is that right?
Yeah,
right.
You're right.
2007. Yeah. Interesting.
Okay. So let's, again, talk about Microsoft.
Mm-hmm.
Microsoft did some big acquisitions. They own like 50 studios at this point. You keep losing count. Microsoft made a lot of money. Okay, they made a lot of money last year. Apparently, they made enough money to buy 2 ZeniMaxes. All right, They made billions and billions of dollars. Now, all the reports from the analysts think that Microsoft is going to make a Bethesda-level acquisition this year. Now, fueling that speculation, it looks like Sega has been sort of separating departments, right? Looks like they're separating departments, fueling speculation that maybe they're getting ready for an acquisition of some kind. Who knows? Maybe Nintendo, which I think would be the best company to buy Sega. Personally, that's just my opinion.
Yeah.
Or Sony. Actually, I take that back. I think Sony would be the best one to buy Sega. But if they said, Dave, we need your expertise. We have enough money to buy anybody. Not Nintendo, not Sony. Let's
right.
Any actual third-party studio. Who would you want Microsoft to buy?
Oh.
Small, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter if they're small or big.
2K? Yeah. Have them go big. You want me to they got to go big. Get 2K.
Wow, you want 2K.
Because that means you get all of the Firaxis games, right? You're talking about XCOM, you're talking about Civilization. That means you get all of the sports games. That means you get the wrestling 2K franchise, right? That means you get Mafia, right? You get like a lot of stuff with 2K. Although 2K's parent company is Take-Two.
Yeah, they would have to buy. They would have to buy them flat out.
So wait, go big, Take-Two. That means you get Grand Theft Auto, Red Dead, and all the other aforementioned games. Yeah,
correct.
Take-Two. Buy Take-Two.
Wow, buy Take-Two.
And I don't think they could afford Take-Two, even though you're saying that they could buy another Bethesda-style buyout type situation.
They made like $10-12 billion last year. They can afford it.
I know, but they're gonna want a lot of money. But I mean, if they have the money, go with 2K. They would dominate with 2K.
Okay. Well, I was gonna.
GTA is still in the top 10 game sales. So
I have 2 answers.
Okay.
I'm going small and I'm going big.
All right.
I'm gonna go small. I say you buy IO Interactive.
Oh yeah.
They have the James Bond license.
And Hitman is fantastic. Yeah.
They have a good pedigree.
Mm-hmm.
So you buy them. You know what's coming there. Now you potentially have Indiana Jones and James Bond exclusive to the Xbox consoles.
That's right.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Or you go big and you buy EA and turn them from the worst gaming company to the best gaming company.
Yeah. EA, yeah. I mean, you would have sports exclusivity. Wow. That would be crazy.
Well, no.
Crazy.
Madden would have to be part of their deal. Madden would have to be multi-platform, just like
right.
MLB The Show is going to be multi-platform now, right? That new deals. Is it made by Sony? It's made by Sony, but it will be out on other consoles too. So, and then you'll have that. And then you could just put a EA Play. What was it? EA Plays in Games Pass, right? Well, their version, EA's version of Games Pass. You can just put that in Games Pass, and then you have all the sports games. You have everything.
You're right. You're forgetting about the best title in IO Interactive's stable. Then Mini Ninjas. All right, they're gonna get Mini Ninjas too.
We'll get a remaster of Mini Ninjas. We get a remaster.
But no, I can like 100% get behind that. All right, both those studios. Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's talk about studios they already have, right? Ninja Theory, they recently purchased like 2 years ago. Right. We know we're getting a Hellblade 2.
Yep.
Because we're getting Hellblade 2, they're going to end support for Bleeding Edge that came out last year.
Right. The game that nobody's talking about, the kind of Overwatch, Apex Legends style character MOBA, right? And it was the first game out of all the studios to come out, and yeah. So this isn't surprising. Because Hellblade's a good game.
Well, they're not gonna take it down. So for the small, the small little audience that they've built up, or the small gamer base that they've built up, they're gonna keep that going. They're just not gonna support it anymore. You're not gonna get anything new on there. So.
No new content updates. Yeah. So it's really just support in that case. But okay, that's
And they're putting all their energy into the new Hellblade game.
Into Hellblade, right? Yeah. Which I think is the right thing to do, right? Hellblade, Senua's Sacrifice, right? The first one was that the first one?
Hellblade Senua, I don't remember the name.
Senua something or other. Yeah, whatever the first one.
No. It was Senua's Sacrifice for the first one. This is Senua's Saga, right?
That's right. Yeah. So I mean, the first one did kind of really well. So
let's end the show on a nostalgia note. We know G4 is back, and G4 has confirmed that they revived X-Play and Attack of the Show coming out this year.
Nice. I did see the trailer for that. Sessler is back. I think the whole crew is back. Very excited.
I've been binge watching. So what I do is I love watching old game shows, like old gamer shows. I should say, not game shows. And I was actually watching GamePro, the old GamePro show, and I was watching the old GamePro show, and I watched X-Play, and before X-Play there was Extended Play.
Oh,
and they changed to X-Play.
It was the proto X-Play.
Yeah, so Extended Play, they were like sort of like at the arcade and stuff, and that was their background. And then they went into the studio when they did X-Play, and they moved to I guess at night as a night show. Of some kind. And I like Extended Play because it was less. I mean, they still. I mean, it's Sessler, so he has his corny jokes, but it was. I thought it was less. I thought it was less about making fun of the bad games and just making jokes. Where X-Play, the beginning, it was sort of like Extended Play, and then they sort of, as they gone along, I thought it was more of them making fun of the bad games. Like they put an emphasis on making fun of the bad games on the shows, and just show me the game and I'll make my own opinion. Kind of. That's what I want. That's what I like personally.
Sure. Yeah, I'm happy it's coming back. I have a Sessler story actually. I don't know if I ever told you this.
But did you meet him at the supermarket?
I wish I met him at the supermarket. No. Back when Halo 3 was launching, our friend Joe, he was writing for this website called Spong, S-P-O-N-G. I think they're still around. So he'd get stuff to do, and he managed to get press passes or media passes for the Halo 3 event at the Best Buy in Midtown, right over on 44th and 5th. So he's like, "Hey, you wanna like come and help me out? Like, I have an extra pass." I said, "Sure, yeah, I'll be your cameraman. That's cool." So we went up there and they had the spotlights outside, and they had they had people in the Master Chief outfits riding on warthogs up and down Fifth Avenue. It was pretty damn cool. And we were inside, and then we were kind of hanging around with the other media people and all that, and I look out of the corner of my eye, and I'm like, Joe, stand over there. I'm going to go ahead and film you. So I take his camera I put up, and I'm like, I'm like, hi, this is we're live now with G5 TV. We're 1G better. And like Adam Sessler turns around and looks at us like, what?
I remember. No, you did tell the story on the show. You told the story on the show. Yeah, I remember that. I remember that.
Yeah,
okay.
it was so funny. It was like, what is going on right now? And I'm like, hey, love your work. Yeah, no, that was it. But he seemed like a really good dude. You know, we didn't necessarily get to talk to him like that, but yeah.
We should do a spoof show where we're as soon as
G play.
G play.
We're
G play. Yeah.
Hey, you know what? If we ever get around to streaming stuff, we can call it G play. That's awesome. Well, all right. I think that's it. That's episode 255 in the books, folks. And I want to thank you guys for coming along on the ride and doing all the good stuff that you guys do. And if you want to interact with us, and we know that you do, you can find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and Patreon at Rated G for Gamers. Also, one final note that we are part of the Gaming Podcast Alliance. You can check out all of the fine podcasts featured on there at gamingpodcastalliance.com if you're looking for more gaming goodness. So, please listen, like, rate, review, and subscribe. And as always,
keep gaming.